She commands my respect. Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we'll be talking about Jack White's third studio album called Boarding House Reach. Once one half of the White Stripes, he has now moved on from that project with his so-called sister. She's not actually his sister. But moving on from that garage rock kind of sound. Jack is now exploring more of electronica, art rock, noise rock, funk, experimental rock, even a little bit of some glitchy kind of hip-hop sampling in there as well. But it's all done in a very tasteful way on this new record, Boarding House Reach. Being very well known for his Seven Nation Army song with the White Stripes, I think you've all heard and known what this guy has done over the years. But since going solo, I haven't really been keeping up with him much. He did win a Grammy for the single Lazaretto from his previous solo efforts. But hearing the teaser tracks for this new record, Boarding House Reach, I was absolutely blown away, and I couldn't wait to dive in to listen to the rest of this record. The first song is called Connected by Love. I've mentioned it in previous videos before, but this one is a great song. The warbling synths and the frantic "we're connected" backup vocals are the mainstay for this tune. Paired with a rocking organ solo, this thing flawlessly transitions into an electrifying guitar solo as well, and it just hits me on every level of my soul, as if I actually had one to begin with. And with the loud, soft dynamics thrown in with the bongos, it just elevates the quality of this track. It's a great way to start this album. It's one of the easiest cuts to come back to on repeated listens. Experimentation sets in on the second track, which is called Why Walk a Dog. From the heavily produced guitar to the oscillating synths, this is one of the shorter yet sweet songs on the album, focusing on the fine line between possession and companionship. Sure, it might be literally talking about dogs on the surface level of the lyrics, but if you scrape a little bit deeper, you'll see that there's quite a bit of relevance to human relationships too. Sonically, this track is a little too dark and downtrodden for me to come back to it on multiple occasions, and it kind of sucks the life out of this project, especially being bookended by really great jams. Continuing with the lyrical concepts of power dynamics, this third song dives a little bit deeper into one's craze for greed in the corporate setting. And from the short and punchy riffs being harmonized with guitar, keyboards, and bass, the layering of the instruments along with the appropriate placing of bongos make me feel so overwhelmed with joy listening to the song. Hypermisophoniac is another track on this record, if I actually pronounced that right. And the song's title is reference to hyper hatred of sound, as it was Jack White's goal to produce a piece of music out of annoying noise, taking influence from his own son's toys. And reading up on Jack White's influences for this song, you could really tell he was going for affliction, as he fooled around a lot with the layering and the audio space of the production as well, just to drive home that message. Recording fidget cubes, throwing them in the left channel, repeating a warm and tech-influenced synth and throwing it in the right. The song goes off the deep end with experimentation. It's almost puzzling how the rock instrumentation of the guitar and piano find any space to do their thing, but they do, even with the odd, distorted, and pitch-shifted vocals. Another song, Ice Station Zebra, has rattling piano, skittering percussion, and rich rap flows acting as the mold for this song's creamy goodness. Jack White hasn't made something like this ever in his career, I feel. In addition to the uncharted territory by the artist's sound, some of the song's keyboards even feel like they're from a Herbie Hancock kind of project, just complementing the multitude of genres being expressed on Boarding House Reach. Like, yeah, I can't even criticize it for being influenced too much by other artists like Beck, because all of the elements of this song are mixed so well together in an odd and compelling way that it feels like I'm being thrown down a wormhole, abandoned by all of humanity just to sort out all of life's greatest mysteries. Over and over and over is one of the more straightforward rock cuts on Boarding House Reach, but this thing still stays experimental with its form and feeling, being spontaneous yet organic. The throw-ins of the guitar riffs and the bongos, the song never fails to amaze me. It's like if Shrek had 20 sequels, yet each and every single one of them were as good as the original. And with the energy of Shrek saying, "What are you doing in my swamp?" Yeah, just like this song, it never gets old. Another track on Boarding House Reach is called Everything You've Ever Learned, and hands down this is the best 2-minute track to be released this year. Like, I've never heard a track that builds up so much strained energy yet relieves it all within a very short time frame. This thing will just be a go-to for jam sessions on the drums or even the congas, especially with the growing triplet dynamics. Later on the album, we get the song Respect Commander, and this thing is blanketed with abrasive and experimental guitar effects. This thing is a great transition of a song that explores the weirder side of Jack White's influences. And in addition to this, the production on this thing is just so meticulously thought out and pieced together, almost giving this record a bit of a rock symphony vibe, while innovatively mixing sounds I've just never really heard before much in my life. This thing is a pleasure to the ears, all while building off a simple melody. And another cut on this album is called Get in the Mineshaft. The Mellotron-like synth that plays at the beginning of the song is just so immersive. I can't really compare it to many other artists and what they're using, other than King Crimson maybe with Epitaph. But that song came out a very long time ago, so this is definitely a fresh and exciting listen here. The second half of Get in the Mineshaft plays out like a vocal experiment that feels a little hit or miss with the repetition, but still an enjoyable tune. The penultimate track on Boarding House Reach is called What's Done Is Done, and this is very country tinged. Like, I never thought it would grow on me as much as it did, with being so straightforward on an album that feels very experimental. But it's a timely break that kind of gives us a chance to recuperate from all the weird sounds that have been on this project. And the final track, yeah, this album kind of goes out on a whimper here. It's a bit of an oddball to close it out. Kind of jazzy and slow, not really sonically connected to the core sound of Boarding House Reach, kind of dragging across the finish line like it was Gary from SpongeBob SquarePants. But outside of the closer, we get a couple of story-like tracks, the first of those being very theatrical and almost feeling like an actor speaking lines from a play over top of string instrumentation. The second interlude of a song kind of like a story time with Jack White. And both of these interludes' purpose, I just feel like they're there to heighten the sense of strange, bizarre, freaky, screwy, oddball, whatever you want to call it, just the overall feel and vibe for this album. Overall, Boarding House Reach is a phenomenal record, something that only comes around once in a blue moon for commercially known artists. Like, I'm not saying that the weird sampling and the random sounds will get you a high album rating. It's just that this thing builds over top of an instantly catchy foundation, and the production is diligently crafted. And I applaud Jack White for doing something odd and tripped out, even glitchy at some points, while mixing his own sound and style with his vocal performances and his guitar abilities, only making me put his virtuosity up another level, something that I expected to do a long time ago as soon as he started his solo career. Moreover, Boarding House Reach is definitely Jack White's best material put out since going solo, and it should stand the test of time. It's definitely one of the best albums this year. And for that, I'm feeling a 9 out of 10. Now I want to hear from you. Sound off down below in the comments, let me know what you're thinking. Agree or disagree, I'm here to engage with you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. My name is Ryan from True North Reviews, and as always, have a rockin' day. Thanks for watching.